you to answer this. What is the most niche thing you've ever been obsessed with?
Oh my God, do I have to say it out loud?
That is already very concerning.
No, because some of my internet interests need to stay between me, God, and my search history. Thank you
See,
very much.
that's exactly what I'm talking about.
And what exactly are you talking about?
Look, the internet used to be so weird, like properly weird. You could like find someone insanely specific, like community, and nobody else knew it existed.
And then you'd spend like 6 hours there and come out knowing everything about a topic that you did not even care about at 11 p.m.
Okay, you know what? That is honestly the way while I've learned a lot of things concerning.
Same, but now you find something niche and
Give it 3 business days.
And it's already an aesthetic.
Bro, there's already a TikTok sound.
Somebody has made a little starter pack about it.
and
Yeah.
somehow there's already a brand collaboration. So, did the niche internet die?
I feel like we're about to piss off every person over 25.
And every person under 25 who is about to tell us that they invented the internet.
Fair, but seriously, did algorithms, trends, and everyone become a content creator make the internet less interesting?
Or did we just get a bit boring?
Okay, that's like a bit too personal, you know.
Which is why we brought someone who probably has way more thoughts on this than we do.
Oh, that's my cue. Okay, hi everyone. My name is Kashika. I am the founder and editor-in-chief of a online publication called Kyuu Studios, and we do literally what was just discussed right now. We analyze things that are going on in pop culture, internet, and fandoms, and we ask why does this happen and what can we do to understand it better. And thank you for having me, and I'm very happy to have a platform to talk about everything I've never spoken of until 20 years because I'm kind of in the unk group right now. I'm turning 20, so it's
Well,
like,
that is super, super fortunate for the plot. And, you know, if anybody can tell us whether we are collectively ruining the internet, it is probably you. So, Kashika, welcome to For the Plot.
thank you so much.
Okay, so today we're talking about the death of the niche internet. So, I have a question. Does everyone feel like, the internet isn't just as fun anymore, or are we just old? Apart from you, Kashika, of course, I'm not calling you old, but like, are we old?
No, I don't think you guys are old either. I mean, I hate saying the word when I was your age because genuinely it immediately invites such a unk feeling to the room. But genuinely, like when I was your age, I was slowly distancing myself away from the internet actually because I spent like the preteen part of my life being extremely into the internet and having online friends, and I kind of just crashed and burnt out one day because when my mom was like, okay, so who do you want to call for your birthday? I was like, okay, so I have one friend in Australia, one in Denmark, one in Sydney, one in Tokyo, and like just get them on. And she was like, no, I mean like in a 2 kilometer radius. And I was like, wait, shoo, like I have not made any friends in my vicinity, but at what cost, so that's kind of my experience with the internet. I definitely think that it's not boring. It's still very much a place where you can find something for yourself, but it's a lot more difficult, I would say, to find because everything is, very. I think post COVID that barrier kind of went down and then it immediately shot up because people want to feel, cool, baddie, niche community, etc., etc. But I would love to hear it from you guys because I'm sure things have changed a lot since like 2019.
I mean, of course,
You know,
after.
I really love your answer because actually, all of us being in an online school,
Yeah.
kind of most of the people, we're just going to be like, oh, you know, I have a friend who lives in Bangalore, one of them lives in Saudi, another one lives in like Dubai. So that's one of the things for us as well. So I definitely do agree to that. But yeah, we do need people in our vicinity, which kind of me and Amelia don't really have at the moment. Zara's the only one who does. But yeah, that's for that. And yeah, I feel like as you were mentioning that you spend like a lot of your pre-teens like on the internet. Whereas for us, like we did not really spend most of our pre-teens, like it wasn't too much of like social media consumption. For us, it was mostly like consuming TV shows, and like it was just media. It wasn't like, the YouTube shorts or Instagram, because we were honestly too young to ever have that at and like in just like the past few years. So all of us really had a lot of YouTube consumption. So we have been like YouTube and
I
TV
agree.
growing up.
Yeah,
I
YouTube
Whereas
kids.
all the kids
yeah.
now are like, all of them are just like these Gen Alpha kids addicted to like YouTube shorts and brain rot. Whereas we were those typical 5-minute craft videos.
Yeah. No, I think also like before the internet was actually like it was not better. We were just better, like because of all the YouTube
Yes.
we used to watch. We used to watch ZHC, we used to watch Dan TDM, we used to watch all those my
Yeah,
era we had, those old YouTube channels and everything. I think that brings nostalgia at the same time. And I just think we were better at that age. We didn't have all this brain rot crap, just like scrolling through and just listening to all of that. We did not have that.
Never,
I feel
Zahra, we
like
never
that's
had.
one thing, okay? Like nostalgia is a really big factor of why we think internet back then was better. I think, like Zahra said, I think we were just better. We were just kids. We didn't have all of these societal pressures at that point of time. Whereas now we have all of these beauty standards and like all of the other stuff just like being placed on us because we have access to the internet.
To add on to like Amelia's point, the fact was that we also did not have so much access. Like we had a lot more like real life connections, and like, we were a bit too busy like being school and then just, like playing out and going with friends. So we did not actually spend so much time at home ourselves, which never, allowed us to go on the internet so much, even though it always existed back then. But our access to it was fairly a lot limited from what it is now.
I agree, but I think right now the three of us have no real life connections, just online connections.
Wait, but you do though.
You do. You are the only one who
You
does.
do.
But
I
I
barely
don't
have it.
romanticize that, do I? Anyways, Kashika, do you romanticize this? The nostalgia, just like Amelia and Franchi have spoken about this. Do you miss that internet's era, or do you romanticize this era as well?
I think I miss the type of person I was back then because, as you said, when you're kids, you don't really think too much about when you're doing something. It's
Yeah.
just the present moment that you feel more for. I think, again, as I said, since I've been on the internet for so long, I've met a lot of people. I have maintained friendships with a lot of people. Like, imagine knowing someone when you were 9 and you're turning 20 now and you still know each other, but you never met in person. Like, that's literally how some of my friendships are.
Agree.
So yeah, it's a very interesting thing to put into perspective once you actually experience it. And I can only tell you guys, like, what a niche baddie thing. Like, oh, look at me with my friend outside of India. But jokes aside, I think that it comes with a lot more emotional damage, as that one meme says, because I see, since everything is online, you don't really know what's happening on the other side of the screen. And I don't mean in the sense of like catfishes and stuff, but just genuinely how that person is doing, because you will only know who they are and what they do because of the information they give you access to. Because then, when I continue this line of thought, I have also let go of a lot of friends online that I still think about to this day. And that's a very heavy burden in its own way. And I think a lot of people who have been online would relate to that. Like, oh, this one person who I used to talk to about XYZ. And, as you grow older, you also start to forget a lot of the stuff that you associated with them. Like, I remember some people by their profile picture. So when I see that picture on Pinterest, I'm like, wow, like I had a friend who did XYZ and had this profile picture. So I think there's a lot of psychological aspect that goes into it that we don't talk about a lot because it's like that one meme, no, oh, it's the internet, just close your Wi-Fi and then go home. Like, why are you taking it so seriously? And I did do that a lot, when I would have people who would be unnecessarily mean to me. But then looking at it from a friend perspective, I think it really does mess you up when you're a kid in many ways because then you don't know how to deal with a loss of a friend you've never met, so it really kind of gets to you, I would say.
Okay.
I feel like we could relate to this to like an extent, because Zahra and Amelia have been in like the online school longer than I have. So both of them have spent like over 4 years being in
Yeah.
an online
Every
school.
single grade, we used to have like these new friends.
Yeah,
Every
every single grade it used to change.
like, for example, in grade 6, if you made a really good bond with someone, that friend at the end of the year would be like, oh, I'm going back to CBSE because I was at British school. So they would be, oh, I'm going back to physical school. And that would actually, break your heart, because you'd be like,
Just
now what friend do I make? But I think like as you like transition into grade 9 now, and I'm in grade 10 now, these people have stayed with me. I think this is like the first friendship I've had which like has stayed for like a year.
That's good. That's good.
Yeah, because the only thing was, so I joined school in grade 8. So I shifted to like an online school in grade 8. So I have known Zahra ever since. So I am really glad that none of us ended up changing schools or nothing ever went wrong between us. And which is why we still know each other till date and it's been continuing. Or else if there would have been like a minor change in either of our lives, we wouldn't have been like the friends that we are, right? And that's exactly what you were talking about, how you had to let go a lot of friendships because and you never even met them. I feel like that would be such a like a hard thing to let go because
exactly.
imagine
Imagine you
you've
never
known
even met them, and like this is the last time that you're gonna like
and you
actually
have like an
talk.
emotional connection with them and then you're just like you stop talking and you've never met them. That's so sad.
So
Yeah.
enough crying now. Let's actually blame the algorithm behind it. So I don't think, the algorithms in the internet help us discover things anymore. I think they just trap everyone into watching the exact same thing. Do you guys agree with it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Amelia, you can go ahead with your thoughts because you didn't speak as much.
Okay, because I feel like we all have this like one very mainstream basic feed that kind of gets sent out to everyone. So we're all consuming the same thing. And like you are what you consume. So technically, I feel like we're all becoming the same because of that.
Yeah, okay, you know what? I agree because I feel like there hasn't been a specific type of trend that like there's very few people who would have not watched it. Everybody knows about it. So all of us are technically consuming the same content, a very similar Pinterest feed. Okay, like so many people just have the exact same style today. They love it just because it's on Pinterest or they've seen it on the internet. Okay, so you like everybody is kind of trying to be the same. Everybody is narrowing it down to that one particular aesthetic, one sort of dressing style. So I definitely feel like the algorithm has pushed out so much information to us that we have constantly been consuming it. And plus the trends that have been repeating and that have been changing, all of us are kind of consuming the similar content in maybe a different way at the end of the day, which is leading to all of, so many like being the same without being with being different people.
I think I disagree over here. It's not that we all want to become the same over here. We all are forced to be the same because of the
So
algorithm.
that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying. Because of the
That's
content,
what we're all saying, man.
that's what
The
I'm saying. Because
algorithm is just pushing
all
that
the
sort of
content
content
that
towards
we are
us.
yeah,
all
we
of us are watching like the same thing, right? So that is leading us to liking the similar thing. It's
even
not
though
like
we all want to be different,
we
it's
are we
pushing.
are being the same in some ways or the other because of
Bro,
the
the thing
media
is,
that
we are obsessed with being different in the exact same way as 100 others. So we're
Same,
not actually different.
same, but different. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think I have a different point to say to this. I do believe that the reason why we see so many people emulate the same aesthetic or train of thought, the way they speak, the way they act is because end of the day, everyone wants to be part of a community. So I think let's get that out of the way first. We need friends. We want people who understand our references, our way of thinking, fashion, etc. And I think in that process, we feel that, doing this thing is going to get me liked. And again, the algorithm plays a huge part in it. Like, for example, if I want to get into a certain aesthetic, like clean girl aesthetic, right? For example, which is another discussion in itself. I don't really like that aesthetic a lot. And if I see that all the girlies are, pink, coquette, light pink, fuchsia, and I'm like, no, I hate light pink. Okay. But then all the clean girlies are on that train. So I'm gonna think, okay, fine, I have to be a pink girly now. So instead of being a clean girl who likes blue, I'm now a clean girly who likes pink. Why? Because everybody else is doing it. And it comes to a point where you may have this exact same example with those pink girlies. Like for all you know, they could be like undercover girlies who like green, blue, aquamarine, 10 different colors, but they all are pink girlies. Why? Because they saw another person do it. So I think we're really scared to challenge that preconceived aesthetic or their preconceived lifestyle when in reality you should for sure get into a core or aesthetic if you think that it fits you, but then bring your own personality and your own individuality to it is what I would say. And I think a lot of people are really scared to do that because immediately when you do something different, like all the spotlight is on you, and they're like, that's so cringe. Like, why would you do that? Like, pink is like the color, not blue. Why would you do that? So, have you guys felt that? Like, you wanted to, approach an aesthetic a different way, but then it was
Like,
considered so cringe.
I really like that you brought this topic in because I have the really annoying habit. I don't know if others do. If everyone likes the same thing, I just don't like it anymore. So, like, does that make me insufferable, or is like, when did interest become aesthetic? Like nowadays, we have hobbies, but that's like something it's become something like aesthetic. I'm gonna do it just for the aesthetic. What do
Okay,
you?
you know what?
I
I get what
Like
you're
like
saying. Like,
Pilates,
why
but the
does
pink princess Pilates aesthetic.
Yeah,
like
that as well.
I get what you said, because like, why does everything we do have to be aesthetically pleasing in a way, right? We cannot just do things in the name of doing things. It has to be aesthetic enough to actually do it.
I
And
think with that
yeah,
train of thought, I really put off journaling for a while because everyone was like, a zero point 0.3 ballpoint pen in this exact shade of blue needs to be a Muji
oh yes,
notebook. It needs to have
I
this
used to
outline
hate that.
only then, and you have to follow this framework of what did I do today? What did I achieve? This, and I'm like,
Yeah,
I
oh my God, that
like
made
what the
No, I know
I
that.
got into journaling and then that was so annoying. So genuinely, you should just do what I want right now. I just
heck?
have a pen and like a freaking notebook that I'm gonna write into when things get overwhelming, and that's my version of journalism. I'm not gonna go and like make scrapbooks with like, the whole Pinterest board aesthetic and stuff. It just takes too much time. So
And the thing is, I remember the journaling era, where it used to be like YouTube channels dedicated for journaling, and they used to tell you to get those expensive Posca markers, those scrapbook.
Stabilo markers. I think when I don't have it. No, I have this one if that counts, the Sharpie
You know,
marker.
I
This
I bought
right.
I bought one Posca marker in the color green just to try out the
Yeah,
hype. But I
just to try it out.
bought
I got this mile liner just for like
I have this
journaling.
one too.
Yeah, no, I only got that one particular one to just try out how good the marker actually is. And coming back to the journaling thing, I don't remember. I don't know if you guys have done that, but when I like really long ago, I have definitely watched all those YouTube tutorials on how to make like your own journal box at home where you had like those scrapbook papers and like everything. So I remember doing those journals from like YouTube. You know, I'd always like go around and like make those colored papers, and then I'm pretty sure I still have a journal lying here and there where I have
I
like scrapbook in it.
I remember looking up on YouTube, how to draw those aesthetic headlines with the
Yes,
highlight,
yes, yes,
the
yes, with
the cloud type of
with the
headline, and
pancake,
For like
yes,
English signs and all aesthetic. Oh my
with
god.
the calligraphy pen.
Yeah,
Oh my
which headline looks good, and oh my god, what colors, and like what should I be doing to make my notebook look nice on top?
yeah, I mean, if you have it in you to kind of make your journal your own, then I think you should definitely go ahead. Like when I journal, I like to end my journal entry with like a moon, like a crescent moon for like, good night,
That's so
good morning.
cute.
So that's kind of like my thing, and I like, basic customization, I feel, which is within your capacity. It's completely all right. Like if I come across a newspaper clipping I like, then I clip it and then I keep it somewhere when I see it the next time, I'm like, okay, I'll glue it on. So that's kind of my very low effort way of making a journal my own. But I'm not gonna wake up one day, go to like my nearest stationery store, decorate the whole thing from front to back, then write this journal belongs to Kashika, please return. Like I think that would have been very fun to do 5 years ago when I had the time and patience. But now I'm like, I just want to get my thoughts out on paper. And
god.
I do not want to, like no one's gonna read my journal. Like, let's be very clear. I'm not gonna make it like my little memoir. That's for like 10 years later when I'm gonna copy paste everything into a book.
But the
But
thing,
now I think in the name of like, what is considered not even social acceptable, there is a new word I think we should start addressing called algorithmically acceptable. Like if it is seen on screen and that's the way you do it, like why are you manifesting with the red pen? No, should be blue, pink, fuchsia. Like
Oh
it's a
my god,
pen.
wait,
Like
you cannot manifest with the black pen. And so, that day I was like doing something, and then like, you shouldn't be manifesting with a black pen. I'm like, bro, I just don't care. Okay, I wrote it with a black pen because that's what I had.
Exactly.
I think with anything, it's the intent. Honestly, it really doesn't matter how you do it. As long as you feel that you've done a good job, then just close the book, call it a day, go to sleep. I think we're just getting
yes,
too involved
Zahara, we
in the
couldn't hear
whole.
you like at all.
Sorry, I meant to say that it's more about the intent than the aesthetic. So as long as you keep that in mind, it really doesn't matter, if you're writing with the blue pen or putting a sticker every 3 pages, like how everybody does.
I
It's
know, right?
just
Like you were just doing it for yourself. You aren't doing it just because it
exactly.
has to fit, like the aesthetic standard, or you just like the algorithm pleased, whatever. Yeah. So that's a good thing. I love that.
Okay, so now let's talk about like something which is like kind of canceling. People might cancel me, or Amelia might cancel me in the situation. Gatekeeping. I think gatekeeping is only okay to a certain extent because, like, if you genuinely, build something and you want to keep it private until it becomes permanent, that kind of situation. I understand protecting it, but just gatekeeping it just for the sake of you feeling special and that thing feeling special. I think that's honestly stupid and kind of foolish. So where do you guys draw the line of gatekeeping? And let's go ahead with Amelia first, because I want to know.
I really wanted to hear what Kashika had to say first before Amelia.
No, first
I
with
I
think
Amelia.
think,
Amelia can go first. I really want to hear her
Yeah.
Yeah,
thoughts about
for
this.
sure. Yeah, no, I was just like, come on,
okay.
let's hear
So
from.
I think that you should gatekeep until something is confirmed. Once it's confirmed, you can tell your close friends, obviously. But until it's not confirmed, try to keep it private because, there's this one saying that, like, keep it private till it's permanent, because Nazar is a very real thing. Even if people don't, like, realize and they're not, like, doing it on purpose, it still exists. So you should just protect your peace, to be honest.
I agree. Kashika, go ahead.
I do agree with Amelia's point. I think in context to your personal life, I love to be silent. Moving in silence is my favorite thing to do now as I've taken a gap year and gotten older. I think, just working on it yourself and then letting the results speak for itself is great. But when it comes to more of the social stuff, like, oh, I found this very cute belt, and someone comes up to me and is like, oh my God, I love your belt. Where did you get it from? I'm gonna be like, do I really want to like tell where I got my belt from, and
Okay,
then everyone is gonna get the same belt as me? Like, whenever I like, even when I got my like a haircut recently, everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's so cute. Where did you get it done from?" And I was like, do I want to gatekeep or do I want everyone to like, kind of hop on what I got? I think it's a very human thing to be selfish when it comes to stuff that is yours, like something that you have done because you have that fear that it's the only thing I have. Like I'm the only person who has this thing, but if I tell it to this person, they're going to be the next one, and then the next, and the next, and the next. So I think it's human psychology. You want to be not like other girls. Like let's get that out of the way. Everyone wants to have that one thing that they call their own. And I'm still figuring out the extent to gatekeeping. Like I genuinely sometimes feel a bit like, am I, being too gatekeepy by saying, oh, I forgot where I got it from, but like I'll tell you when I get it. But I think it also depends on how emotionally attached I am to something. Like I remember a friend asked me that her acquaintance asked where did I get a particular top from when we posted each other on our stories. And I gave it without any question because, I wanted to help someone out. And I was like, it's a normal top. I like it, but everyone else can rock it much better than I do. But if it's like, where did you get this specific shade of like lipstick from? I'm like, but it's my shade, like why would I give it to someone else? So I think it's genuinely human psychology. I'm not perfect. I think that I get very territorial when it comes to stuff. It's like, oh, this is like my niche thing. Like I'm not like other girls. Like, why are you encroaching in my territory? So yeah, I think it's really just something that you have to figure out yourself. I wanted to come up with a very philosophical answer, but I'm as clueless as you are. I have no clue what's the extent to gatekeeping.
Tanchi, what about you?
Okay, yeah. So as Amelia mentioned that, yeah, evil eye is real. Okay, so you never know the intention that somebody has behind your success and your achievement. So definitely, as long as you are certain that you've achieved something, and like you are telling it to the people who actually appreciate you, who you are for, and they celebrate your success with you. And once you know that, okay, you've done this or you've done that, and definitely then telling it to people is one thing about like your personal life. And then yeah, and just like definitely agreeing to the keep it private until it's permanent part. because you generally never know what intention somebody is, and what intention and energy, because I really believe in, energy and like your frequency and your vibration. So you never know what type of intention and energy somebody is giving towards you when they see you achieve that success. So once you know that you have achieved it, you've gotten it, and you are content and you're grateful for whatever you have, and then just like telling people about it, but like, yeah, not being like, you not trying to be nonchalant, and then you are making gatekeeping your life, your whole personality. That is something just not it. Okay, like, what do you mean purposefully you are trying to be more mysterious even if you just aren't as a person? So that is something that like I just don't agree with. But yeah, if you have certain achievements in life that you want to be sure that, okay, I want to have this achieved, and then I'd like to tell maybe my mom or like maybe my friend or like my best friend, so then sure, go ahead. It's it's your personal goal, so you
Slightly disagree because I agree on the professional parts. You should keep that private. But on the other stuff, like if you're wearing something or like even if you're pretty attached to it, I personally have no problem telling someone if they ask me for something. Yeah, that's
disagree.
it. I disagreed. I would like share something like if it's about
Auntie,
clothes.
okay, I know. I'll agree to that part. That no, I'll agree. Like, that is somebody texted me and they're like, "Oh, what lip combo are you wearing?" So I just like sent them
Exactly. If someone
I
is
sent
like,
them I sent them a whole paragraph explaining the two different lip glosses that I sometimes have, and how my lip liners are not from India and they're from a super random brand that I got while I was living in KL. And I even sent them a picture because like if you can find the brand in India, sure, but I am not sure.
And
Love this so much.
that was this is a great episode. I mean, that's a
I
wrap.
know, I loved this
So
conversation.
much. Thank you so much, Kashika, for being on this episode. We are so glad for having you over here. Thank you so
Yes,
much.
Thank you for
we loved
having
having
me.
you
And that's a wrap.
for this episode. We'll see you in the next one. Bye.
hi guys.
What I said, I read the